From the top up, I think that there is a great need. There's a lack of understanding, a lack of training. Many of our frontline supervisors or sergeants really do have the most impact, I think, on the day-to-day. The higher administrations, they're so far removed from the everyday operations of what goes on at patrol, what stress they're feeling, or anything else. They're looking at spreadsheets and number charts to basically determine what's going on at patrol, and they're not looking at the human element of the squad. Whereas if you do have that in-touch sergeant, if you do have that in-touch lieutenant that is in tune with their squads that they're supervising and their officers that they're supervising, that they know, the sergeants know what calls are out of the ordinary. I mean, you can go to domestic, and then you have a drowning. That's out of the ordinary, especially when it's a small kid. It needs to be trained into the frontline supervisors, the sergeants, the lieutenants, and even up into the higher echelons of the police department. What services are available to those officers? They not only are just cops, but they're also supervisors. They need to understand the human resources aspect of it. What happens? Is FMLA available for these officers after a critical incident? Is workers' comp the best way to go? But recognizing in their officers when there is a out of the ordinary experience on the job, and going to those officers and say, hey man, that was messed up. That was a really, really bad call. Let's go, why don't you hang with me? Let's go out to lunch. Let's go out to dinner. Let's talk about something. Let's see how you're doing. But then also having the sergeant not to accept I'm just fine. They may be fine, but also saying, you know what, maybe we need to, let's get you in touch with some help. Maybe let's send you to PISTLE, to a peer support group, and just see how you're doing. Maybe we'll send you to a couple sessions just to make sure that you get it all cleared out in that acute stress phase before it transcends into PTSD. So I think that empowering and training the frontline supervisors in what resources are available to your officers, having the courage to stand up and say that was out of the ordinary. Because if you look at it and you're like, man, that's messed up, I guarantee you the officer's saying that's messed up. And having the courage to stand up and say, no, dude, I think that we need to talk a little bit more about what just happened. We need to get you some help with this. Because I said, I'm fine 60 plus times before the one call that I said, no, I'm not fine. And if I would have got help immediately after those 60 plus calls, I probably would still have my career.